Hey guys, what is up? Pritesh from the PI podcast here. And I say we talked about Man 22 and 5 things they should improve on in that video. Definitely go check that out. Today, I played the Man 23 beta when it were launched, and today I'm going to be telling you guys my feedback from it. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, you're going to see everything that I saw from the beta. Fortunately, I can't show any picture or anything because there was a no capture zone on the beta, so no footage or anything I have to show you. But things that I saw that they could improve on, and they did improve on from Man 22. So I play Man 22. I play Madden every single day, no matter, maybe not every day in July, but 99% of the time I'm playing Madden at least a few games a day. I'm playing it with my best friend, duos. So definitely we know the ins and out of every glitch, every play, every glitch play, every cover 3 beater, every cover 2 beater, every corner, every crosser that people run, and what play people run. So we're have very in-depth knowledge of that stuff. And Man 23, when I first jumped into a game, it felt a lot smoother. As soon as you get into the game, as you can expect from the past few years, from Madden 19, they did change the Frostbite engine, and that has continued. But also, throughout the years, and even now with the PS5 technology, the graphics have just got better and better. And with Man 22, the graphics looked amazing for the PS5 version. It looked really good. It took a big step using the PS5 hardware. And Man 23 takes another big step. You can actually see wrinkles in the jerseys, and you can see the sweat. You can see the sweat a little bit in Man 22, but even more in Man 23. And you can see the details on their faces, the crinkles in their pants, and the little shoe details, little face mask details, helmet details. It just looks so crisp. They did change the scoreboard a little bit. It looks nice. I like the scoreboard a lot. They do often change things, Madden does. They often change the scoreboard and whatnot to make it look a little nicer. And so that did look a lot better. Another thing that they added was mid-air knockouts. I mean, you could kind of see mid-air knockouts in Man 22 when someone would get an animation to where they jump up high in the air, and then if someone hits them or tackles them, they drop the ball. I guess you could call that mid-air knockouts. But this year, whenever someone goes up to jump for the ball, it's not based off of the animation anymore. It's based more on the physics of the player, which is kind of cool. You do sometimes see some animations, but that's because it's animation branching. And it's a different level of animation. You can branch off different animations to make it feel realistic. That's what they did. We'll see in the actual game if that did improve. The last couple of games, the beta has been better than the actual release date for itself, especially Man 22, because Man 22, when it released, they had an issue with zones being broken, so the scores were being 50 to 50 every single game, because the zones did not play their zone, like a deep safety in Man 22 at the beginning of the year. They came down for no reason, just kind of got confused when you did a simple streak and broke the game essentially, and that came for a rough start for Man 22, and Man 22 didn't really recover from that. They did fix zones near halfway point through the season, and they essentially, it's a lot better now than it was before. The game in general at the end of the year is a lot better than it was now, but the problem was the animations. The animations are too frequent for Man 21. Man 21, they fixed a lot of different things. This end of year is better, I believe, than Man 21's end of year, because this year you actually have a chance to win games, no matter, even if Madden and the momentum feature kind of pushes towards the other team's way, you still somehow have a chance. This year in total, there's only been, I think, 7 or 8 games that me and my friend Julio have been in that have been a blowout, that we've gotten blown out. All the other games were within 1 or 2 scores, and that goes to show it's not just people calling glitch plays. It goes to show that people who actually try to play a simulation game, try to play a real NFL game, can make it in Ultimate Team. And we did have a really good team regardless, but you still want to see simulation and not some unrealistic plays. And we did see some of that this year. I think that's going to happen every year because nothing can be perfect. It's a video game. But as long as we don't see too much of that next year, it'll be good. Another big thing is tackling in Man 23. Sometimes in Man 22, people would dive. Players would dive at their feet, and the player would just run through their feet like it was like they were invisible in Man 22. And lots of times when we were dying for tackles, you'd miss the tackle and he'd run off for a touchdown, or he'd get extra few yards, extra 10 or 20 yards even. So, but this year, when you actually dive for the ball, as soon as you see the hand kind of touch them, they kind of stumble, and there's a really, really realistic stumble animation for when you trip someone, and it slows them down, and you can tackle them. Another big thing is team tackling. Team tackling, when we played in the beta, it felt very, very smooth. You can see somewhat of that in Man 22. There's some form of team tackling when someone helps to get a tackle, but in Man 22, when you do try to team tackle, basically, one person is tackling, the other guy comes in, that other person that's tackling is basically renderless. It's basically gone. Like, that player animation, the character itself just stops doing what they're doing and just kind of is invisible. And then the other guy gets to tackle. And the other guy just stops. It's weird. But this year, fortunately, team tackles actually work. So one guy's coming in, one guy's coming in to the right, your teammate's coming in from the left, you both stand them up together and tackle him. The running back does have a chance to break the tackle, but not if it's 2 or 3 people. And it depends on the running back style. Like if it's a power back, they have an increased chance of breaking a tackle. And if you're going one-on-one solo with a power back or a elusive back, they can fight based on their ability ratings. Like if Derrick Henry is running at you, single coverage, single tackling, Derrick Henry, how many times do you actually believe you're going to be able to stop Derrick Henry? Maybe some NFL players can, but that's where the realistic factor gets in. You can stand up Derrick Henry, some people, if you have a really good tackler, but at the same time, there's a very likely chance that Derrick Henry's going to break the tackle. And there's new mash button tackle animations. I think they did this like 4 years ago, I remember. They tried something like this, mashing the button. But this year, when you try to stand up a running back, it triggers a tackle battle. And tackle battling has you press X for me on PlayStation, should be A on Xbox if I'm remembering correctly, but X on PlayStation, and you have to mash. Whoever mashes their button better, or whoever wins that mashing, they win the tackle battle. So definitely it's a really, really cool thing and feature that they have. One big thing is they made defense a hell of a lot better, which was much, much needed, especially from last year. Zones being broken. Madden 23 has fixed that issue, and defense is very, very overwhelming. Defense is so good. They actually play their zones. If you're going to a flat and they don't call hard flats, even if you don't call a hard flat, if you call that play 2 times in a row, they're going to be a pick 6 1 or 2 times, because the computer itself, the AI itself, is knowing what plays call is going to be, because it's repetitive and it picks up on that. And even deep zones, you can't go over the top too easily anymore. You can't do covered 3 beaters. There was a couple times where some people got covered 3 beaters, but it was reasonable because there was a deep comeback on the right, which got the other safety a little bit, and then the post was kind of open. But at the same time, the defensive back, the middle safety, also ran over to the player on the post and was able to knock the ball out. So it's very, very much realistic from the beta that we played. And throwing in the middle of the field is going to be very, very big this year. Throwing underneath is going to be very, very tough for people who like to do running back routes or running back wheels. Very, very difficult this year. I suggest going to, even corners are so much harder because the AI will read it. So I suggest middle routes and middle things. There were some times where I felt that the defense was too overwhelming, that you can't run anything. And sometimes the big thing is you want a game to be fun, right? Defense can be overwhelming at times, but I think it is good where it is. A big thing is pass rush as well. They up pass rush a lot, and in a good way and a bad way. In a good way because now you can actually realistically get off tackles, and there won't be one guy just same animations, them just flailing their arms around. There's actually real animations where they spin around, they push through people, they bull rush people, but at the same time they've overpowered pass rush right now, so that you only have like 3 seconds in a pocket. I get that in real life, Madden, in real life NFL, they don't have that much time to stay in a pocket, but the way that Madden's doing it is very, very, very overwhelming because the defense is overwhelming and pass rush is overwhelming. I think they found a good point where their defenses is that if they just tune down the pass rush a little bit, it'll be such a great game. On the offensive side, definitely a lot of the routes are back. They simplified defensive playbooks for every team, and it just feels very, very fun, very, very realistic. Now, some bad things I saw in the beta were that some animations, it is a beta, so it is what it is, but some animations did come back, like an aggressive catch animation did come back and would moss some people. There's also some corner routes with the same animation, but other than that, the Madden 23 beta was really, really good and is what people are expecting, so I hope they do that in the full launch release. Because last year and the last couple of years when I've been playing the beta, that beta gameplay, way better than the launch of Madden and throughout the whole year. They've never made a game as good as the beta, which is kind of weird because the beta is where you're supposed to test stuff. But the beta, the last couple of years have been better than the actual game itself. So I really hope that this year is the year that the beta matches the gameplay of the whole year. There's always going to be those glitch plays. There's always going to be those people that try to break the game just because they don't know how to play the game and just because they want an easy touchdown because they don't know what else they want to do. So definitely be wary of that, but be wary. There's also so many ways this year for you to stop posts and stuff. So I wouldn't be too worried right now unless there's a big glitch happening in the middle of the season. I have good hopes for this season like I do the last couple of years. Because since Madden 19 was the worst Madden I think I've ever played in my life, that game was so broken by the end of the year, you could do anything you want. Like literally, there was no defense, there was offensive heavy, there was no defense, so many glitches, there were so many glitches that it was unplayable. And then Madden 20, 21, 22, and now 23, they've started to improve just a little bit each year, and that's what's been good. So I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like. If you guys want any Madden 23 videos, do let me know. Do let us know. Definitely, I can go over the launch, stuff like that, or whatever, if you guys are interested. But I just want to share my thoughts on the Madden 23 beta and my thoughts on it, because we still have a month to go before Madden 23 actually comes out. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PIPodcast and on Twitter at PIPodcasters. Until next time.